name's Michael Fugman. I've been involved in Federation for 30 years. I got involved on the board, then I got involved in the finance committee, then I was treasurer, then I became chair of the board. I also sat on the foundation for a number of years and some allocation committees, did some fundraising, multiple jobs.
And how was it that you first got involved?
You know what, I don't know what was a catalyst for it, candidly, but I think I was probably asked because I was an accountant. And they always look for an accountant. And so as a CA, they sort of drafted me. And then I started to learn and become more and more passionate about the breadth of what we do. When I first thought of Federation, I thought of just a little organization that gave away money to the community. Then I started seeing how it gave money to the world and was part of the Canadian organization, and how we set the parameters and we set the dream for where the community had to go, and we offered leadership. And so a community can't grow without somebody helping bring all the visions together. And we had at one time multiple organizations for seniors, and they were working together, but they weren't really, because they were drawing resources, and so we could work with them to become more efficient, work as one team versus multiple teams. We also were able to help people who had visions to create items that weren't there. So the high school, it was a dream. Federation worked with the community to create that dream and bring families together, donors together. And more so than anything else, so what we did realize is that if we wanted to be a proper community, you had to have proper resources. And so we had to let the community know that we need a school for the community to continue to grow and grow and grow.
What were the biggest challenges that you were faced with back then?
I'll be very honest. So I think I thought it was an elitist group that, you know, you had to have lots of money to be involved, and the senior guys of the community ran it all. And then I realized when they first started setting up boards is that they try to get a diversified board really representing the community. So I went from a closed-minded approach of who the Federation is to realizing it truly is our community, and goal is to represent our community.
Any other significant challenges come to mind?
I think the people always talk about time, and you know, how can you do it? And then I started realizing that I felt I got more out of the time I put in than I actually I got more out of it than what I put into it, because I learned, I developed relationships, and I felt I was a role model. And again, being very candid, one of my goals as a person was like setting an example for my family and taking on a role in Federation. I explained to my kids in action what was important for me and what I felt was important for us.
Okay, let's talk about, you've spent a lot of time working with Federation right through to today. What are some of the achievements that you're proudest of, either personally and or, you know, from a Federation point of view?
Well, one of the achievements is when I sit around the board table and see the next generation coming up. That, to me, is a brilliant achievement, because it gives you belief that you set the right foundation. Another achievement was when we were sitting around the boardroom table, we were talking about the creation of Shall Have It, the girls' high school, and listening to the conversation of the school, listening to what people thought, and hearing people make decisions based on what they felt was right for the community versus their own personal agendas. So it didn't matter if you were religious or not religious, or if you lived in Richmond or you lived in Vancouver. Everybody understood the value of that school to grow the community. And that, to me, was a great achievement, because we made the decision for the right reason, and it was not for economic reasons. And I was really proud of the people I sat with at that point in time. And I think, as I said earlier, the other component is that we ended up getting more people involved, and we had an organization that people were proud to be involved in. So I was really, that put a smile on my face too.
Let's look at our community today. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing our community?
There's so many the, the growth to the outlying regions and keeping people informed and feeling part of a community is really a challenge, and it's going to get harder and harder. Engaging young people like my kids, because their passions are different, and finding a way to get them on the right note. Another big challenge is fundraising and keeping on raising money, because people have a desire to give money to specific they want to give to specific programs, and there's a massive overhead to create a unified community, and people don't understand what it involves to do that. But I really think keeping the young generation involved and proud to be Jewish, and working with them in a way that they will also be wanting to work with their children and their next children and everything else like that.
Why, I get the sense in talking with you that Federation has been and continues to be important to you. Can you share with us why?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. So when I was young, I had just had kids, Talmud Torah was critical. Then all of a sudden the camps became critical. And then all of a sudden at the universities became critical, and you had Hillel became important. And then all of a sudden I realized some issues, some social services became issues. And then sadly when my father got ill, I realized the value of the seniors' home. So the one commonality between all those was Federation. They were in there. They were also in there in the synagogues. They were in there when we have disasters around the world. You asked me earlier about making me proud. I was really proud when we support others too, like not only in our community, the fact that we're there for other people when they have need. And I remember sitting on the foundation table, and people wanted to grant foundation money to people outside of our community, and we did. And I think that's right, because that's about Tikkun Olam, because it's just not our world, it's the whole world. So to me, the breadth of Federation, and when we have issues on security, you have to have one common group. So Federation can be that resource to bring them all together. One of the other things that I'm really proud of, though, compared to most communities, because I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of communities, is how we have worked together as a community too. And the Orthodox and the Reform, the outlying regions in the city. And I think we're lucky, because I believe that earlier mentors in our communities like Jack Diamond sort of engaged us to be a community of a whole community and not just an Orthodox community. And so that's what I see. We have to be one community, and the film festival is a tremendous asset that helps so many people who don't have an interest in religion. And you have all these different assets that we all understand make us the community as a whole. And Federation fulfills that by helping out book fairs or whatever it's going to be.
Anything else that comes to mind that you'd like to share with us that we haven't had a chance to raise yet?
Yeah, I think the one area that I focused on was our community, but we have that breadth in Israel. Israel's a really important factor in our life, and when I go to Israel and I see how much they appreciate us as Canadians, we are well respected, and I see what we do to Israel, and I see the needs in Israel and how without us, we wouldn't be there, and I think we act as a really important liaison between Israel. We act as an advocate for them. We are there so that they aren't alone in the world, and Federation takes on a big role of making sure people have Israel, support Israel, and I think we act for them on that way. And I went on a mission to Ethiopia where we brought back Ethiopians to Israel. And it's like a life-changing when you see these people who grew up in huts are coming to Israel and being given opportunities that they never fathomed before. That was really cool, and that's what we did here. And the other part that I feel is that we support the people in Russia and the former Soviet Union. And if we aren't there for them, they will starve and die. And so I'm proud that we do all that. Yeah, so that's what I love. We do everything. We help support people in need when they need it, and it can be for all different reasons, all different parts of the world. And we don't pass judgment on them, and we accept them for who they are as people.